The federal government is announcing it's going to end all funding for research with ties to China's military, as well as any foreign military, defense, or security entities that are deemed to be a threat to Canada's national security. This was a late-night announcement from the minister in charge, Minister Champagne, and Ottawa is urging provinces and territories and universities to follow suit. Let's bring in Janice McGregor with the details we have from the ministry. Good morning, Janice.
Yeah, good morning, Heather. A real kind of strong Cold War vibe to this one. We know how geopolitics, the global security situation has been really intensifying, China becoming more aggressive in pursuing its perceived national interests globally. And at that point, collaboration on sensitive intellectual property starts to feel more risky. Trust breaks down. Canada's top research universities fall under provincial jurisdiction, so federal ministers aren't really in a position to ban outright any collaboration between Canada's top researchers and Chinese military scientists. But the research grants that fuel some of those labs, fund some of that work from organizations like NSERC, the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council, the SSHRC grants, Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council, but also the Canadian Institutes of Health Research. All those kind of funding organizations do operate with federal money, funds that come from Canadian taxpayers. And so with this move, we see the Trudeau government trying to turn off those taps, if you will. Last month, an investigation by the Globe and Mail found that joint projects at some of Canada's leading universities, we're talking here about the University of Waterloo, the University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, McGill, they included researchers from China's National University of Defense Technology. And these projects, some of them were specializing in really sensitive fields, things like missile systems, robotics, automated surveillance, all things that kind of give rise to espionage concerns. Late yesterday, after Cabinet, cameras caught up with Innovation Minister François-Philippe Champagne. This statement came out in his name, but also in the name of Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino and the Health Minister Jean-Yves Duclos. Champagne was citing recent media reports in explaining why the government needed to take this action. Take a listen.
I think that's something that Canadians expect from us to make sure that we take strong measures, and I think this is a strong response to face the reality of today and making sure that research security in this country will have proper framework around it. So on one end, we respect the freedom of research, but at the same time, we protect the interest and our national security.
It was interesting. Champagne never mentioned a company like Huawei, for example, by name. The statement from the ministers just refers more vaguely to actions by, quote, foreign state actors. But I think given recent tensions between Canada and China, the dots really aren't very hard to connect here.
There has been, has there not, Janice, a similar crackdown that Canada has instituted before. What is different in this case?
Yeah, last night, the Conservative Foreign Affairs critic Michael Chong was talking about this, how back 2 years ago in 2021, the government said it was going to take steps to prevent espionage and foreign interference at Canadian research labs. That resulted, though, in only guidelines, not actual rules. And so some collaboration continued. Chong said nothing of substance has really been done here yet. He questioned why it took a national security threat for the federal Liberals to step up. Also, though, there have been people in the research community calling for this for years. Margaret McQuaig-Johnson, she's a former executive vice president at NSERC. She's now with the University of Ottawa. She's been among the voices calling for more of this. She said, with this, Canada now is kind of moving ahead of other countries and reconsidering this collaboration, called it a good move. But she also said that there's still more work to do.
Janice, thank you very much. Janice McGregor from Ottawa today.